Okay. All right. The technique that I teach, I'm the founder of it. I started meditating about 32 years ago. And I was pretty young then, and nothing in my life was the way I wanted it to be. And I refused to live my life that way. And I kind of saw where my life is headed, and I knew the picture's not pretty. And I was determined to find a way. And I explored some different options like religion or psychology and Buddhism and different things, and some lectures and things like that. And I noticed a lot of the self-help stuff that I found, like even self-help books, they helped me understand myself a little bit, but it didn't really help me solve the problem. So like, for instance, say, okay, your dad did this and your mom did this. Okay, so what do I do about it now? How do I heal this? How do I fix this? A lot of things I found is that gives you some root issue, which helps a little bit, gives you a little bit of awareness, but it doesn't help, to my perception, it wasn't helping me solve my problem. It wasn't helping me change myself. I heard some good insight. And my mentality is, just the way my thinking way goes, I want to change now, not 30 years from now. I could be dead by then. I want something that helps me now. And even a lot of the wisdoms from higher teachers who are accurate. And I started, anyway, the first thing I learned was meditating, so I started to meditate. So I recommend that highly. Minimum of 20 minutes of meditation. And I do myself a very simple meditation. I sit on a chair with feet on the ground, sit straight, head a little bit up, and then for the 20 minutes, the intention is to quiet your mind. And you can use, there are 1,000 techniques you can use to quiet your mind. And there's a lot of this information on how to meditate out there. That's why I decided not to focus my meetings on meditation anymore. It used to be called meditation and something else, and awareness. And I noticed a lot of people I attract, that's what they want. They mostly want to meditate. And that wasn't really my intention. My intention is to give you tools you can use. So that's why I decided to change the name of my group and to Healing and Awareness, because there's a lot of information on how to meditate. So you can use music, you can listen to your heartbeat, you can focus on your breathing, you can chant, always where you can quiet your mind and for 20 minutes or more, meditate and relax. And I don't sit cross-legged. I think it's better to have your feet on the ground because it grounds you. Crossing leg is a very old technique that was presented several thousand years ago. We're in a different energy now, definitely. You don't need to, because they used to cross their legs so they could leave their body and go to higher dimensions. We don't need to do that anymore. You can access higher dimensions right from here, from your physical body. You don't need to leave your body to go to higher dimensions anymore. That's why it's important to put your feet on the ground when you meditate, so you're grounded and you want to be in your physical body. Because when you're in your physical body while you're meditating, your physical body is benefiting as well. The old ways where they would leave their body, then your physical body is not benefiting from that energy. That's why a lot of old-time sages, I guess, is the word that comes to mind. People who knew some stuff about spirituality, their aging didn't change. Their age regularly as other people did, and it's because the technique, the old way, was to leave their body. So their physical body is not changing. It's not benefiting, so they age in the same way, but their wisdom increases. We're in different times where we want to stay young, and we want to stay healthy, and we want to stay physically strong and fit, so we can have more time to do our spiritual practice. It doesn't help you if you have aches and pains, and you're trying to be spiritual. Being physically, because this physical body is your tool. You want to have a good tool. You don't want to rust a tool, right? You want to have a healthy, so that tool can serve you in the best way. So for many reasons that I'm not going to get into details of, it's important to have your feet on the ground and be in your physical body when you're meditating. Now, another thing you can do to make sure you're more grounded, and not just when you meditate, but throughout the day, is to ground yourself in a way that you're connecting your first chakra to center of the earth. Are you familiar with chakras?
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with chakras? So you all know what the first chakra is. It's at the base of the spine.
Okay.
Right between your genitalia and your anus, at the base of the spine, is where the first chakra is. Usually if you see it, it's red. Sometimes if the chakras, if they're changing, they can change color, but mostly it's red. So you can imagine, and you do this by your thoughts, you imagine that you're connecting your first chakra to center of the earth. Center of the earth is like a big ball of fire. It's pure energy. So when you connect to center of the earth, it gives you a few benefits. One, your etheric body, your light body, becomes positioned right into your physical body. Because a lot of times we're halfway out. You don't notice it because you're used to it, but a lot of time, a lot of people are halfway out of their physical body. Their etheric body, their light body, is not exactly in their physical body. Sometimes if you feel lightheaded, you're not as focused, you can't concentrate as well, or you bump into stuff, you bump into chairs and doors. You've experienced that, sounds like it?
Mm-hmm.
That means you're not grounded.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, so when you're grounded, you don't feel the edge of your physical body. If you know, the etheric body is another tool of your soul. Because the physical body and the etheric body is a tool for your soul. So if your etheric body is here, you don't feel the edge of your body. So it's like your etheric body is a little bit this way, like here to here, and then this part, like your etheric hand is here instead of here, so you don't feel the edge of your hand, and then you bump it into places. When you ground yourself, then your etheric body, your light body, comes right in your physical body. Your etheric feet come right into your feet. Hi, how are you? It's okay. I'm Farah. Good to have you.
Good to meet you.
Have a seat, please.
Okay.
Good to have you. I started, so I don't keep them waiting, but actually you're on time.
Okay.
Maybe I started early?
No.
Okay. So we're talking about meditating, that it's good to meditate 20 minutes a day, and also by grounding, the benefits of grounding. Grounding is that you connect your first chakra to center of the earth. And you do this with your thoughts and imagination. You just imagine that you're connecting your first chakra to center of the earth. And whatever, like you can imagine a chain. What I do is I imagine a golden chain that connects from my first chakra to center of the earth. And it's like an anchoring in center of the earth. I realized that I was not grounded at all when I was young. And when you become familiar with yourself, aware of yourself, you can tell when you're not grounded more. At the beginning, you may not notice as much, but you begin to notice when you're grounded. And sometimes I had to ground myself several times a day, because you develop a habit of not being fully in your physical body, and you need to give yourself the habit of being in your physical body. So that's why for some people, not everybody, it may take a little time to get used to being in your physical body. So give it time. Like if you feel like, oh, okay, I just grounded myself, but a couple of hours later I feel like I'm not grounded, that's okay. You need to give yourself a little time to get used to being in your physical body fully. Now, once you do this, and you can imagine it like a tree trunk, you can imagine a waterfall connecting you, whatever tool you're using to connect yourself to the center of the earth doesn't really matter. Whatever you feel comfortable with. The important is your mental intention to make that connection. That's what's important. That you intend to connect the center of the earth. You can imagine a ribbon, a robe, like a tube, whatever, it doesn't matter. I use golden chain connecting me, anchoring me, because that seemed to be what I needed to really help me feel grounded. And like the mental image of a thick golden chain gave me a feeling of weight, and it helped me get grounded. But you can imagine whatever you want. So let's try it, okay? Close your eyes, feet on the ground. Put your intention on your first chakra, which is base of the spine between genitalia and anus. You might see it. It's kind of red. It may look like a flower. Sometimes it may look like a circle. Different people may see it differently, but usually it's red. So from first chakra, imagine that you're connecting it with a chain or a rope or whatever you want to center of the earth. And sit straight. And pay attention to how you feel when you're doing that. When you're making this intention to connect the first chakra to center of the earth, how do you feel when you do that? Deep breath. Now, once you get a hang of it, you can do it in a matter of a minute, really, like a snap. At the beginning, you may need to think about it, but after a couple of times, it's like a snap. All right. So when you're done, you can open your eyes. Did you feel different when you did that? How did you feel?
Heavier.
Sometimes you may feel like you're being pulled down, and that's your etheric body coming back in your physical body. That's why you feel a pull. But that if you feel that, it's only the first couple of times. After a while, you'll get used to it. You won't feel that pull. Did you feel something? What did you pull? What did you experience? The same?
I felt like balanced.
Do you feel like your feet, you can feel your feet now? The first time I did that, I was sitting on a chair, and I thought, I can feel the chair I'm sitting on. It was so funny because I was like, so that told me I wasn't feeling the chair before, because after I grounded myself, I could feel the chair I'm sitting on. I'm like, oh, okay. And the first time I grounded myself, I went down with my grounding. I saw this big ball of like a sun, and I thought, oh, what is that? What is the sun doing here? I thought it was the sun because it looks like the sun. Then I realized, no, it's not the sun. It's the center of the earth. I went down with my etheric body. Just naturally, I went down with my grounding. So, but that didn't happen. Once I became aware of it, it didn't happen again. But it was kind of funny. I'm like, what is this big ball? So the benefits, one thing, it's good to do this grounding in the morning when you wake up. So it kind of balances you, and it gives you the awareness of yourself because you're giving attention to yourself. So it's good to do it when you wake up in the morning. Another thing that's good to keep in mind is to renew your grounding once a day. Like towards evening, like if you ground yourself in the morning, towards evening, release the first grounding that you did in the morning. You can pretend you're burning it. It's on fire and it's burning, and that will release its energy. Because when you're imagining that grounding, like the chain that I imagine, it's something I'm creating. Because creating in light vibration is very easy. You just imagine it and it's there. It's not like a physical realm. Well, you have to make it, physically. In etheric realm and light realm, it's very easy. You imagine it, it's there. So when you're imagining a chain or whatever you're using as a tool, you're creating it. So what you want to do is towards like evening or nighttime is to remove the old grounding, burn it, imagine it's burning, and then give yourself a new grounding. Because sometimes it gets like dust and energy around it, and that is why you want to renew it once a day. You release the old one, you burn it, and that releases the energy, purifies it, and you give yourself a new grounding. Now, for some people who may say, for whatever reason, like some people say, oh, I don't know how to imagine, I don't know how to do it. And these are things everybody can do. Some people, their mind prevents them. It's not really a matter of ability. Imagination is natural ability everybody on planet Earth has. Some people, because of certain experiences that they've had, childhood, past life, or whatever, they get this idea, I can't. But it's not true. But anyway, for some people who say that, to make it simple for them, you can ask your guardian angels to do this. Everybody has guardian angels, minimum of one. Mostly more than one, but you have at least minimum one guardian angel. Most people have 3 or more. So you can ask your guardian angel to do this for you. Now we'll try it so you can feel the difference between when you're grounding yourself and when you're asking